In this kind of just audio today, I'm having a little trouble with the computer, but it says here an n by n identity matrix is a matrix that has only ones on the main diagonal and zeros elsewhere. So one like this 1 0 0 1, that's the 2 by 2 identity matrix, and this is the 3 by 3 identity matrix, and here's the 4 by 4 identity matrix. So those are identity matrices are the ones that have just ones all along the diagonal. Okay, and what happens is that's kind of like, you know how when you have 1/5 and you multiply it by 5 over 1, we say that 1/5 and 5 are inverses because when you multiply them together, you get the identity, which is 1 in just the real numbers. So in matrices, the identity is this matrix that just has ones along the diagonal. So if A is a n by n matrix, if there exists an n by n matrix denoted A inverse that satisfies, if you multiply A inverse times A and you get the identity matrix of that same dimension, or if you multiply A times A inverse, and if you multiply A times A inverse and you get the identity matrix, then we say that A inverse, A to the negative 1 is the inverse of A. So, for example, if you have, just like I said, if you have 1/5 and 5, when you multiply them together, you get negative 1. You get 1. And that's the identity in the real numbers. And this is, you're looking for a matrix. When you multiply them together, you come up with this identity matrix. Okay, so if we wanted to determine whether B is the inverse of A, and we were given these two matrices, because right now I'm working without a graphing calculator, I'm going to multiply these by hand, and I hope that you are following along and you could try it with your calculator. But I'll just do them by hand and show you how we would work it by hand. Let me turn this on. So let's see. Hold on a second. I think it'll come up. Okay, so this is just a 2 by 2, so we can do this by hand. We'll be all right. So we have 2, negative 3, negative 1, and 4. And then you have 4, 3, 1, and 2. And so remember, to multiply matrices, you take this first row and you multiply it corresponding terms by that column, and then you're going to add them together. So you're going to do 2 times 4 plus negative 3 times 1. And that's going to go in that first element. And then you'll do 2 times 3, and then negative 3 times 2. And then here you'll do negative, is that negative 1? Okay, so negative 1 times 4 plus 4 times 1. And then in this column you'll do negative 1 times 3 plus 4 times 2. And then when you multiply these together, that's going to be 8 and negative 3, so that's 5. This is 0. This is 0. And then this is, let's see, negative 3, again, 5. Okay. And so when you multiply those together, did y'all try that with your calculator?
Yes, we got the same.
You got the same answer. So it kind of looks like an inverse, doesn't it? But that's not quite the inverse matrix. So we would say no on that one. Okay. And then you could also do, if you had gotten 1001, you would want to check it the other way as well. Is everybody okay on how to do this on your calculator? You enter it into your calculator. You would do, let's see, it's second matrix, right? And then you do, you arrow over to edit. And then A would be highlighted, and so you could just hit enter. And then you would call it a 2 by 2 and enter your elements, right? And then you would do the same thing with B and enter the elements. and then you would go in the home screen and you would do second matrix A times second matrix B. Okay, so did that go okay? Yeah? All right, I'm hoping it went okay. All right, so let's try number 2. It says, determine the value of the constant K in the matrix B so that B is equal to A inverse. Okay, so A is 1, 1, 1, 2, and B is 2, negative 1, negative 1, 6K. All right, y'all want to learn how to totally steal this with your calculator?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Can you enter the matrix? See, I don't have a calculator, so you're going to have to do this along with me. Can you enter this matrix A into your calculator for me, please? So go ahead and enter A into the calculator. And tell me when you have that done.
Got it.
Okay. Marlon's got it. How about Chilton?
Yes.
Okay. And now what you're going to do is you're going to do second matrix and, second quit first to get to the home screen. And just go ahead and clear whatever is in the home screen. And then do second matrix, and then just call A. So just hit enter, because A should be highlighted. And so you get back to the home screen, and you should have an A like this. Do y'all see that? Okay, now the button I want you to push is the little to the negative 1 button, which I think, I don't have my calculator in front of me, but I think that's the regular matrix button.
How do you put the K in?
Say it again?
How do you put the K in?
No. You're putting A in.
Oh, okay.
Okay, did anyone find this little button on the calculator? I don't have my calculator in front of me, but I think it's the matrix button.
Yes.
Did y'all see it? It's like the X to the negative 1. It looks like that.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so push that button, and it should look like this. And then hit enter. And tell me what you get.
2, negative 1, negative 1, 1.
We got 2, negative 1, negative 1, and 1.
Okay, so this is the inverse matrix. And they're saying that B is the inverse matrix, so they want the value of K. So notice how the 2 matches with the 2, the negative 1 matches with the negative 1, the negative 1 matches with the negative 1. So how do you think you're going to find K? Well, you're just going to say 6K equals 1. And then solve for K. Does that make sense? So you're going to say 6K equals 1, so K equals 1/6. Did everybody practice or try it with your calculator, or look at your neighbor if you don't have a calculator? Okay, number 3, should we just do it with our calculator? Negative 2, negative 2, 4, 2. They want you to find M inverse. Okay? And so the way I want you to do that is just enter the matrix into your calculator and then do the inverse button. And you can put it in A. So enter into A. And then do A inverse. I'm nervous that you guys are having trouble, so can you look at your neighbor and tell on them if they're not trying it? Marlon, are they working? Are y'all both working? Are y'all sharing calculators?
We have our own.
You're doing okay? Did you get the
Yes,
did you get the inverse matrix? Yes? Can you tell me the inverse matrix?
I got 1/2, 1/2, negative 1, and negative 1/2.
That's perfect. Good. Chilton, how did you do?
Okay.
Okay, so did y'all get 1/2, -1, and -1/2?
Yeah. Yes.
Did you look at your neighbor? Is your neighbor getting that?
Nice.
How we doing? Yeah? Okay, so number 4 then, choice 4, they want you to find the inverse of 5, 5, 5, 7. So we will have a race for number 4. So can y'all see number 4 there? I want the inverse of this matrix. 5, 5, 5, 7. Is Moody there?
Yeah. I'm here.
Okay. How are you doing? Are you okay?
Yeah, I got it. 1/7, -1/2, -1/2, and 1/2.
What was your first element?
1/7.
Yeah. 1/7?
Yeah.
All right.
0.7.
What, 0.7? Did you say 0.7? Like 7/10?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. You know, you guys, you can also do math frac. I think try doing math frac and then enter and see if it'll give it to you in fractions. Does it do that for you?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So who was that? Chilton told me the yes.
Yes.
Good.
All right. So Chilton, make sure all your friends know how to find the fraction of the matrix. And Marlon, how about you? You guys got it as a fraction?
Yes, we got it.
And Moody, you're okay? I'm sorry I don't have my calculator. I feel strange. Okay, so we're going to do number 5. We're going to have a race on number 5.
I got it.
Okay, let me hear.
-7, -5, 5, 0, -1, 0, 3, 2, -2.
All right, anybody else get that? Yes? Did y'all say yes? Are we okay?
Yes.
So try number 6, and I guess let's have Marlon do number 6. Find the inverse for us.
We got it.
Okay, so Marlon, was that Marlon? Are you ready to tell me what you got for your answer on number 6, please? Go ahead.
We got 75, 19, -20, -60, -15, 16, -4, -1, and 1.
Perfect. Good job. Okay, now how about number 7? Let's have Chilton do number 7, and Moody can check for us. I'm kind of, my computer's not working today. Do you have a graphic? You don't have a calculator, so I can't show you what we're doing because I don't have one either. It's pretty easy. You just enter, have you learned how to enter the matrices? So to get the inverse button, it's actually the button, it's the non-second button of the matrix. So you would enter the matrix into A, and then you do, you call it. So you'll do second matrix and then edit, or then enter, and it'll take it to the home screen. It'll have just the A, and then you just have to hit that little x to the -1 button, and it'll make that little A to the -1. It'll give you the inverse matrix. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because my computer is like completely whacking out on me. Okay, Chilton. Who did I say was going to do it? Chilton? How'd it do?
We got a bunch of decimals.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got like 0.2040.
Yeah, I want it rounded to the nearest. Can you round to the nearest hundredth?
0.2. We have 0.2 tenths. -1/9.
No, careful. -0.09.
Yeah.
Okay.
The next one is -0.08.
Yeah, and then the next
And then
one.
the last one is 1.9, which would be 2.0.
Are you sure it's not 0.2?
0.20. 0.20, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. How about Moody and Marlon? Are y'all okay?
Yes.
Okay. So number 8. Are you guys good, or are we all good? Because I think we got that. Can we move to the next idea? Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we'll move to the next idea, which is kind of exciting. The whole reason that we use matrices is that we can use them to solve matrix equations or to solve systems of equations. So the first thing that you want to look at here on that question number 9 is that you have, let's see, we have 4x plus 2y equals 2, and we have 7x minus y equals 8. And we can make a matrix equation by just converting this into, to take the coefficients, so it'll be 4, 2, 7, -1. And then right here, you'll put the x and the y. So you can imagine that if you were to multiply this, this is a 2 by 1, and this is a 1 by 2. So you would create a 2 by 2 matrix. Sorry. This is a 2 by 2, and this is a. So this is 2 rows, this is 2 columns, and this is a 2 by 1. So you would create a 2 by 1 matrix, 2 rows, 1 column, and it would be 4x times 2y is in the first row, and then 7x plus -1y would be in the second row. And then you would just put the 2 and the 8 like this. So that's how you make a matrix equation from a system, a linear system. You just take your corresponding coefficients, and then the x and the y, and then the 2 and the 8, like that. Okay? Now on number 10, we'll do -35, -2, and 1, right? And then what will the next row be?
20, 1, and 0.
So 20, 1, and 0. And then what will the next row be?
-40, -2, and 1.
Okay. And then here, you're going to put x, y, and z, right? And then that equals this column matrix, which is -97, 57, and -112. Is everyone okay on how to make it a matrix equation? Okay? All right, so now we'll see on number 11 why we would do that. Well, the reason that we would do that on number 11 is we would first write the matrix equation. So can y'all write me the matrix equation on number 11? Let's see, Moody, you want to tell me it?
Give me in a 2x2, 1, 2, 6, and 8.
Good.
And then x and y.
Uh-huh.
And then -6 and -20.
Okay. Now, what we're going to do is this is my matrix A right here. So I'd like you to please enter this matrix into your calculator. And then I'd like you to enter this is matrix B, into your calculator. -6, -20, I'd like you to enter in, that's matrix B. Okay, did everyone get those two matrices into their calculator?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so now what you're going to do, this is kind of fun, in the home screen you're going to do second quit, and you're going to type in, you're going to do call matrix A and do the little inverse, and then you're going to multiply that by matrix B. So you're going to call matrix B. And then tell me what you get.
Two, -4.
Okay, did anybody else get that?
Yeah.
Elton, how are you?
We got it.
You got it. Okay, so everybody's taking responsibility, right, and checking to make sure their neighbor, because it's a little bit weird today without the, I'm sorry about that. Okay, so on this particular question on the online homework, they also asked for A inverse. So you could just go ahead and compute A inverse real quickly, you know, just by, on the home screen, just doing A and then inverse, and it'll give you that. So you can input that, and then they're asking for this. Okay, and see, what's really exciting about this is what they're saying is this equation, x plus 2y equals -6, and 6x plus 8y equals -20. If you input these values into the equation, you will get the right answer. So if I put 2 in for x and -4 in for y, notice that I do get -6. Do y'all see that? And if I put 2 in for x here and -4 in here, I will get -20. So this equation works. Or this is the solution to that system. So it's just another way to find the solution to the system. You could use lots of different, you could use substitution method or elimination method, or, okay? All right. Okay, so now number 12. Can y'all set that matrix? Can y'all set up can y'all tell me matrix A? And so what we do, it's A and then X equals B. So who can tell me matrix A?
Is it 1, 4, 4, 4?
Yeah.
1, 2, 4, then 1, 5, 4, 1, 4, 5.
Excellent. All right, and then this is just X, Y, Z. And then matrix B is this -6, -7, -10. Okay? So you have to enter this matrix into your calculator, and then you have to enter this matrix into your calculator. It's going to be a little bit different because you're going to have to change the dimensions when you enter it. Is everybody okay entering the dimensions? I'm going to give you a minute to enter that.
14.
Okay, so do you guys have the matrices entered?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and all you have to do is now go to your home screen and do A inverse times B to get the solution.
14, -1, -4.
Let's see. Anybody else get that on number 12, 14?
Yeah, I got that.
Let me see. Yeah. 14, -1, -4. So that's X, and that's Y, and that's Z. Okay? Kind of fun? Okay. So number 13 is the same type of problem. You'll do with your matrix 0.4, 0.6, 0.3, 0.3, 0.8, 0.2, and then 0.1, 0.4, and 0.2. And this is an X, Y, Z. And then that's going to be equal to 35, 53, and 55. So this is your matrix A, and this is your matrix B. And then to compute X, Y, Z, you do A inverse B. And I guess, let's see, should we have, I don't know. Y'all want to have a race, or do you want me to call a school? I guess we'll have a race.
Is it -190, 90, and 190?
Let me see. Number 13. -190, 90, and +190?
Yes.
Okay, good job. Who was that? Was that Chilton?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Marlon, are you okay?
Yes, we got it.
Okay, and Moody, you okay?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's look at this next question. Number 14. We have to set up the equation, so that's going to be kind of fun. It says, a local sorority sold hot dogs and bratwursts at the Spring Fling picnics. The first day they sold 8 dozen hot dogs and 13 dozen bratwursts, and they made $281.40. The second day they sold 12 dozen hot dogs and 15 dozen bratwursts for a total of $333. How much does each cost? Okay, solve the system using an inverse matrix, and they say the hint is it's easier to leave the dozens in the problem until the last test step. Okay. All right, so we'll do that, and we'll leave the dozens in the problem, I guess. If you had to do it by hand, with the calculator, it doesn't really matter, but we would have more zeros. So let me go to the document camera and see if I can write this out. I'm going to let H equal the cost for a dozen hot dogs. And I'm going to let B equal the cost for a dozen bratwursts. Okay? And now we say a local sorority sold hot dogs and bratwursts at the Spring Fling picnics. The first day they sold 8 dozen hot dogs and 13 dozen bratwursts for $281.40. So 8 times the number of dozen hot dogs, or the cost for a dozen hot dogs, and 13 times the cost for a dozen bratwursts gives you $281.40. And then the second day they sold 10 dozen hot dogs, so 10 times the cost for a dozen hot dogs plus 15 dozen bratwursts, so 15 times the cost for a dozen bratwursts gives you $333. Okay? Now, what you'll do is you'll enter this into your matrix. So we'll have 8, 13, 10, 15, and this will be H and B. And we have 281, 40, and 333. And then, okay, so then we will just, put this in matrix A and put this in matrix B. And then you go A inverse B to get your matrix answer. And so does anyone want to enter that in and tell me what they get?
10.8 and 15.
10.8 and 15.
How many?
10.8 and 15.
10.8 and 15? Do we agree? Does anybody else get those numbers? Hey, Chilton, did you give up Mr. Purple Sweater? Did you stop doing it? Sweatshirt?
Huh?
You guys stop typing it in? You're not going to talk to me?
No, I know how to do it.
What?
Yeah.
Y'all aren't talking? I can't hear you.
My cat go. Huh?
She can't hear you.
I was letting my classmates do some work now.
All right. Okay, now you're going to answer this question though. If it's $10.80 for a dozen hot dogs, how do I figure out how much it costs for one hot dog?
For a dozen?
This is for a dozen.
12.
What?
Then divide it by 12.
Yeah.
Divided
So
by
10.
12.
You go ahead and do that for me. $10.80 divided by 12, and $15 divided by 12, and let's see how much it costs for just one hot dog and one bratwurst.
90 cents for a hot dog and $1.25 for a whatever that B word is.
A bratwurst. Okay, very nice.
Yeah.
So nasty.
All right, now, I hope everyone's taking responsibility for their learning. You're not going to hurt my feelings if you need help, or nobody's embarrassed or anything. So just talk if you're getting stuck on any of this. We're supposed to be having fun at the end of the semester. Like, it'd be really cool to have a rockin' A on this test. Like the first time you took it, you just blew it out of the water. Right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So now we're looking at number 15. Because we only have one more section, and then, is that right? Yeah, and then we'll review, and then we'll test. And so it's supposed to be an easy test. It's supposed to be kind of a, one that's going to help you bring up your grade if you need it. All right, the table contains data for sales of 3 homes. Price P is in thousands of dollars. Home size S is in square feet, and condition C is rated from 1 to 10, where 10 is excellent condition. Use the table to write a system of linear equations whose solutions gives A, B, and C. Estimate the selling price of a home with 1,900 square feet and a condition 3. Okay, so what we're going to do is we know that the price is 122. I'm thinking thousands, 100, but you can just write it as 122. And then we'll put the thousands at the end. And then we have 1,500 for B, and for S, and then we have 8 they put in for C. So we're going to put, this is equal to 122,000. So the first element is going to be 122. And then the second one is reading that price for the 2,000 square foot home, and a condition 5, the selling price is 130, meaning 130,000, but we'll put 130 there. And in this one, the last one, for a 2,200 square foot home with condition 10, it will be 158,000, but we'll put 158 in there. So the matrix that we will create, or the system, the matrix equation that we will create will look like this. We'll have 1, 1,500, and 8, and then we'll have 1, 2,000, and 5, and then we'll have 1, 2,200, and 10, right? And then we have A, B, and C. And then it's equal to our prices, which were 122, 130, and 158. So this is matrix A, and this is matrix B. And we want to figure out what A, B, and C are, so we're going to do A inverse times B. And so can someone tell me what they get for A, B, and C?
A is 30, B is 0.04, and C is just 4.
Did anyone else get that?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, and so then what you're going to do now is, the question is, find the selling price of a house with 1,900 square feet in a condition of 3. So notice at the top in the problem they give you the formula P equals A plus BS plus CC. So this is, and we know what A, B, and C are, so we know that the price is equal to 30 plus 0.04S plus 4C. And they told us the square foot, so the price for a 1,900 square foot home with condition three is, that price is going to be 30 plus 0.04 times 1,900 plus 4 times 3. And so, everybody understand where I got why I did that? I just plugged in those two things. And so, did you guys get a number there? Can y'all tell me an answer?
Can you slide down, up, whatever?
Can't quite hear whoever talks.
Can you slide it up a little bit more?
Yeah.
So we can see that. All right.
Like that or no?
Yeah,
Yes.
like that.
Perfect.
118.
118. But they're going to want, this is in thousands, so the price for the home is 118,000.
18,000.
Does that make sense? Okay, you guys did really good today. I'm sorry that I didn't have my computer working. But do try this homework, and on Wednesday, I think my computer will be better, or I'll borrow someone's. And so we'll be set for the last thing. Take care.